What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel, and for today's video, we're going to take a step back away from Duelist Nexus and go back to Cyberstorm Access because we now have the last batch of cards to talk about in today's video, all of which include some brand new gold price support, OCG imports, and world premiere cards as well. All of which I will be talking about in today's video. But before we even get started, guys, we are now officially 38 subs away from 200. We're getting closer and closer, guys, closer to the goal of 200. And as I have said in previous videos, if this channel gets to 200 subs, I will open up this Korean Strike of Neos booster box in its entirety on the channel, on the hopes to potentially pull this guy, Elemental Hero Air Neos. However, if the channel gets to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box on the hopes to potentially pull either a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, or perhaps even this guy right here, the Head of Exodia. However, if the channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare. But with that being said, if you guys want to see these boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more, maybe you guys want other openings in the future, maybe some episodes of WWE's biggest issue, maybe some episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's biggest issue, deck profiles, premium live event predictions and results, maybe you guys want card discussions, maybe even WWE topic videos. Well, if you guys want to see all that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys have not... excuse me. So, with that being said, if you guys want all those videos and more, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. Now I want you guys to post in the comments below the question of the day, which is this: what decks do you guys believe will be the new meta, will be tier 0, tier 1, tier 0 when Cyberstorm Access comes out? For me, honestly, I think it's gonna be, in my opinion, I think Runic and Kashtira are probably going to be still two the best decks in the format, just because of the fact that even if we do get new support for them in the future, those decks will just become more and more powerful by each day. And even if some cards in the deck get hit with new support, the deck will just become meta once again. That's just my opinion. But let me know in the comments below. But let's kick things off with the world premiere cards. Kicking things off, we have Moisa Knight, the Comet General. I probably butchered that first one, but it's a 1-star light warrior pendulum with the hunt. Guys, I apologize if you guys hear barking in the background. We got a bunch of dogs in this house. It's fucking wild. If you guys hear music in the background, I got music going on. I got a little bit of Zelda going on right now. Big shout out to the game's franchise. Can't wait for Tears of the Kingdom. That's gonna be a hell of a game. But with that being said, let's restart, shall we? Moisa Knight, Moisa Knight, I think, the Comet General. 1-star light warrior pendulum, 100 attack and defense, and pen scale is 11, and the pen effect reads if you pendulum summon a monster or monsters, place this card on either the top or bottom of the deck. Okay, I mean it's okay. It's okay. It just means that you're not gonna be able to it just means you won't deck out that much, I guess. So I mean, it is what it is. But its monster effect reads: when you draw this card, you can reveal it, and during your main phase this turn, you can conduct one pendulum summon. Excuse me, of a monster from your hand in addition to your pendulum summon. You can only gain this effect once per turn. That's actually pretty nuts. That's actually pretty nuts. Being able to pen summon twice in a turn, that's actually not too bad. I don't know if this card would work with DDDs. I know that this card can definitely work with Pendulum Magician, but DDDs I'm not so sure. I may have to test that out. But still, it is a good way to get more bodies on board and to be able to try to push for game, which isn't too bad. But you guys know every card has its own fatal flaw, and with that one, I think its fatal flaw definitely has to be its own effect. That's like the only thing, because if your opponent were to activate a card like, say, Mind Drain, the effect is just practically useless. Next up, we've got Golden Cloud Beast Maolong, which is a 6-star Light Dragon Synchro tuner with 2200 attack and 1000 defense, and it requires a tuner and one or more non-tuners, so pretty generic. And the effect reads: if this card is special summoned, you can increase or decrease its level by 1, and if this card is sent to the grave, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls and return it to the hand. So not only does this have the effect of Excel Synchron, where you're able to increase or decrease its level by 1, but it also has a sort of like a pulse effect, which honestly, that's actually pretty good. I think this card is gonna play a huge factor in so many different synchro base decks over time. I think Stardust is definitely going to be one that can definitely benefit from playing this card. What is it? Sky Strikers. I know Sky Striker has been. I've been hearing a lot of chatter that Sky Striker has been making its way back into the meta. Already, which is pretty decent. Cyber Dragon as well. I know that there are some Cyber Dragon decks that actually run synchros, which isn't too bad. So this card is actually pretty good. I think this card might just change the meta, but it just depends on how it's played. It just depends on how it's played for the most part. But next up, we've got Imperial Princess Quinquiri. I believe I believe I'm saying that right. It's a rank 5 Dark Cyber Exceeds with 1200 attack, 2800 defense, and requires 2 level 5 monsters. So pretty generic. Cyber Dragons can definitely play this card, which is pretty funny. I would say the Karibo decks, but with Astral Karibo, you would have to literally summon number monsters instead of regular rank 5s, which is kind of dumb, but it is what it is. Sorry guys, my eyelashes got caught in my eye. Anyway, what's its effect? You can detach one material from this card, target one level 5 monster in either grave, special summon to either field, and if a face-up level 5 monster you control is destroyed by battle or leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, while you control this monster, you can add to your hand or special summon a level 5 monster from your deck. Oh, so this is just a good way to just spam the board with even more monsters, go into more of your plays. This card, Cyber Dragon, can actually benefit from this card because of the fact that you're summoning out multiple monsters in a single turn, kind of like a pendulum summon of sorts. So this card can actually this card can actually benefit from using this card, which is actually kind of funny. Next up, we've got Pendulum Pendant, which is a normal spell, and the effect reads: banish 5 face-up pendulum monsters from your extra deck, place 1 pendulum monster from your deck, or face-up extra deck in your pendulum zone. You can banish this card from your grave. Target a card in any pendulum zone. Reduce its scale by 1. Minimum 0. You can only activate 1 pendulum pendant per turn. Okay, so this is a good. So this is a really good like side deck card going up against a pendulum mirror match, which is pretty good. So if you were playing DDD and your opponent was playing the exact same deck, this is an excellent mirror match card, perfect for side decks, which is really good. Being able to stop your opponent from just pendulum summoning right off the bat, that's actually not too shabby. Not too shabby. So next up, this is the last of the world premiere cards, and then we have to talk about the some new cards. The last world premiere card is another pun. It's another pun, you guys. It's called How Did Dai Get Here? I don't know, guys. I just don't fucking know with these puns. I've got no fucking clue who the hell comes up with these names, but it is what it is. But it's a normal trap that reads if a monster you control is destroyed by your opponent's attack or card effect, place face up in your field zone a field spell from your deck with a different name than the cards in the field zones. Then reveal 5 monsters from your deck that can be special summoned with different names from each other. Your opponent randomly picks one for you to special summon and shuffle the rest into the deck. Okay, so I'm assuming Crystal Beast can run this card. A Shizu Tier could also run this card. I would say Battling Boxer, but I don't think it can. I know Sharks. I know Shark decks can run this card. Heroes can definitely run this card. So there's a few decks out there that can use this card to its full advantage. But I don't know if it would be any good. The reason I say that is because heroes don't have any field spells. I know that elemental heroes have 2 field spells. One is, and they're both Skyscraper. Skyscraper and Skyscraper 2 Hero City. Destiny heroes have Clock Tower Prison and Dark City. Evil heroes have, I think, Supreme King's Castle. Vision heroes don't have a field spell at all, so it's a bit of a stretch. But still, it's interesting. I think Crystal Beast can play this card. Lightsworns, I know, is another one that can definitely run this card as well. So there's a few decks out there, but I don't know if any of them are going to be any good in the meta. But again, it's like I said, they all have their own individual flaws. But now we gotta talk about the OCG imported cards, which I don't think I ever talked about these on the channel. Oh wait, did I? I actually did. I actually did talk about these on the channel. Funny enough, because weren't these all like jump promos? Yeah, they were all jump promos except for a couple. Okay, so I've already talked about these cards on the channel. Some of these cards I'm actually thinking about just buying as singles, just because of the fact that I don't really need the set. But if you guys are wondering about the cards, the OCG imported cards are as follows: Wish Dragon, Votis, I believe is how it's pronounced. Aldularia of the June Moon. I think it was Aldularia of the Moonlit Water, I think was the OCG name. Kitty Tail, Mystical Beast of the Forest. Baromet Baramet the Sacred Sheep Shrub, Reincarnation of the Seven Emperors, and Rebirth of the Seven Emperors. So those are all of the OCG imported cards. They were all jump promos, funny enough. So I've already talked about them. I don't need to talk about them any further. But now we gotta talk about the last batch of cards in the form of the Gold Pride support. So there's a few cards to talk about. So let's get straight into it. First up, we have Gold Pride Roller Baller, which is a 5-star Earth Psychic with 1800 attack, 1600 defense, and the effect reads: if your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can special summon this card from your hand. During the main phase, as a quick effect, you can fusion summon one Gold Pride fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. You can only use each effect once per turn. So not only is this a Cyber Dragon, but this also has a... This is basically Cyber Dragon polymerization in one card. And one of the fusions excuse me, guys. One of the fusion monsters that you can go into is this next card that I'm going to talk about, which is called Gold Pride Pin Baller. Which is a 9-star Dark Machine fusion with 3000 attack, 0 defense, and it obviously requires Gold Pride Roller Baller plus at least one or more Gold Pride monsters. Okay, laptop, these pages are responding, you bastard. Guys, I apologize, my fucking laptop is acting stupid weird. I don't know what the hell its problem is, but it is what it is. But anyway, as I was saying, it requires Gold Pride Roller Baller plus one or more Gold Pride monsters, and the effect reads: if this card is fusion summoned, you can equip face-up monsters board controls to it up to the number of fusion materials used. You can only use the previous effect once per turn. Also, if your life points are lower than your opponent's, the effect's activation and effect cannot be negated. Once per turn during the end phase, if the previous effect was activated this turn, return this card to the extra deck and special summon Gold Pride Roller Baller from your deck or graveyard. Oh my god. Wow, that's actually pretty funny. That's actually pretty funny. Being able to recycle Pin Baller back into your deck, not to your deck, into your extra deck, and just summon it back over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and use this effect countless times. This is a good way to... This is... Excuse me. This is a good way to just overpower your opponent and push for game, which is pretty cool. The problem though is that the Gold Pride archetype, it's not that good. To be honest, it's not that good. I think if the archetype were to get a little more support than normal, then I truly believe the deck could have the potential to be meta, but it still needs a little more support to be perfectly honest. Next up, we've got Gold Pride Chariot Carrier, which is a rank 3 Water Aqua Xyz with 1900 attack, 2700 defense, and requires 2 level 3 monsters, and the effect reads: you can detach one material from this card, add one Gold Pride spell from your deck to your hand. Then if your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can send one Gold Pride monster from your deck to the grave. You can only use the previous effect once per turn. Once per turn during the end phase, if the previous effect was activated this turn, return this card to the extra deck and special summon Gold Pride Captain Carry from your deck or grave. So this is a good way, to Foolish Burial Captain Carry to your graveyard off of Chariot Carrier. Again, the archetype sucks, but still, I mean, there are some plays you can make, but it still needs a little more support, in my honest opinion. How many cards are left? How many cards do we have left? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 more cards to talk about, you guys. 4 more cards. I think that's all of them. Yeah, that's all of it. Alright, so 4 more cards. Next up, we got Gold Pride. That came out of nowhere, which is a quick play spell. I swear, these fucking puns are so stupid. I think this one is referencing Randy Orton with the patented RKO out of nowhere. That's how I see it. I don't know. But with that being said, it's a quick play spell that reads special summon 1 Gold Pride monster from your hand or grave. Then your opponent can special summon a monster from their hand or grave to the field, but negate its effects. You only activate 1 Gold Pride that came out of nowhere once per turn. Okay, so this is basically This is basically Cyber Ref System, but it goes both ways, which is pretty cool. I will admit, though, the biggest problem with this card is that your opponent can target one of the best cards that they have in their deck, summon it, and then just use it as material just to go into whatever place they have. So, not the best card. Not the best card. You really don't want your opponent to get a board before you do, so yeah. Although, to be fair, if you do have 3 monsters on board, this is a good way for you to go into your Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, because not only would you be able to special summon a monster from your hand, that's 4 monsters right there. Your opponent would be able to summon a monster from their hand or grave, that's 5. Underworld Goddess can actually let you use a monster that your opponent has as material for its own summon, which is pretty nuts. So it's sort of like a kaiju of sorts, but this card would essentially just be a 1 card like Underworld Goddess, if you will. But it depends on what your board looks like, to say the very least. Next up, we've got Gold Pride Pedal to the Metal, which is obviously a quick play spell, and the effect reads: target 1 Gold Pride monster you control. Until the end of the turn, it gains 500 attack. It cannot be destroyed by battle card effects, and it cannot activate its effects. During the end phase, if the face of Gold Pride monster you control was destroyed by battle card effect this turn, you can set this card from your grave. You can only use this effect once per turn. So this is an excellent way to just continue to just reset your back row, reset your back row, which isn't too bad, but again, these cards are just weird. They've got their own unique effects. Next up, we've got Gold Pride Better Luck Next Time, which is a oh my god, Better Luck Next Time. That's a name. That's a name. It's a continuous spell that reads: when this card is activated, you can add 1 Gold Pride monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do, lose life points equal to its attack. Oof. Excuse me. But, oof. Not a good effect. Not a good effect, but it is a sort of a Rhoda effect, which is okay. If a face-up Gold Pride monster you control that was special summoned from the extra deck returns to the extra deck, except during the damage step, you can draw 1 card. You can only use this effect once per turn. You can only activate 1 Gold Pride Better Luck Next Time per turn. Okay, so it does give you a free draw, but there's really not much to say about this archetype, except the fact that this deck needs new support. This archetype needs new support. And the more support it gets, I think, in my opinion, the better the deck will become over time. So, guys, if you guys are planning to play the Gold Pride deck, I would just wait until we get more support for them over time, and then start playing the deck. That's just how I see it. That's just how I see it. But now we gotta talk about the last card the last card of today's video. It is known as Gold Pride. It's Neck and Neck, which is a normal trap that reads, target one Gold Pride monster you control or one Gold Pride card in your graveyard. Accept this card, return it to the hand. If your opponent controls a monster with higher attack than your life points, you can banish this card and one Gold Pride monster from your grave. Special summon one other Gold Pride monster from your extra deck that mentions that banished monster's name. You can only use each effect once per turn. Okay, so you can literally summon out. You could literally summon out Pinballer by banishing Roller Baller, or you could summon Chariot Carry and banish Captain Carry. That's actually not too shabby. That's not bad. That's not bad. But again, in my opinion, this archetype does have its flaws. I think its fatal flaw is the fact that it doesn't have any Link monsters. It has no Pendulum monsters. And I think if the archetype were to get at least one or two Link monsters, maybe a couple Pendulums, I think this deck has the potential to be meta. But it all depends on how the deck is built. But that brings me to the question of the day, which is this. Again, as I talked about, what decks do you guys believe will be the new meta once Cyberstorm Access comes out? Because I've already talked about all. I think honestly, I believe this is the last batch of cards to talk about in the video, and I don't know what the Starlight Rare is. I'm gonna have to take a look. Give me a second, guys. I need to look up the Starlight Rare. I think the Starlight Rare is a Firewall. It's one of Yusaku's or Playmaker's cards, I believe. I don't know. Give me a second. Let me check out the rarities. Here we are. Cyberstorm Access, TCG rarities. Okay, so as of now, the two Starlight Rares that we know of anyway are Despian, Lilith, and Vise's Starfrost. So I think Vise's Starfrost is gonna be the reprint. I don't know what the other Starlight Rares are, but I can tell you that all these cards, I've already talked about all these cards. Every last one of them I've already talked about. Bestial Aluber, the Mana Diem or the Mana Dome cards. I've already talked about all these cards. Protect Code Talker. I've already talked about these. So, guys, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, which get posted every Tuesday and sometimes on Wednesdays and weekends, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well if you guys want to send fan mail. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.